All right, high winds continue to impact the first part of the morning hours. We're issuing a weather alert day. The Tuesday forecast coming up.
The Richland Police Department says it's cracking down on illegal drug use in the city. Is arrest the answer? And the city of Pasco is preparing for the opening of 2 new Amazon warehouses, but some are voicing concerns over the project.
From Camp KVUE Local News, this is Good Morning Northwest.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Jill Sperling.
And I'm Brianna Berman Solo. It goes without saying, it is windy outside. I said it anyways.
Yes,
it's
well,
windy.
I was dodging tumbleweeds on my way into work this morning.
Yes, if you are out on the roads very early this morning, you're dodging the tumbleweeds. We have pictures coming in of downed signs, grocery carts, a little bit of everything this morning. So be prepared for a wild ride if you head out the door soon. High wind warning in effect until 10 a.m. Take a look right now at our Legend Skycam network camera from downtown Yakima. You can see the flag on top of the buildings downtown. Anything that is loose flying in the wind right now, and that is the case with the American flag flapping in the wind. Since midnight, early this morning until now, just after the start of the 5 o'clock hour, our highest wind gusts have ranged from 48 miles per hour in the Tri-Cities, a little bit calmer, 43 miles per hour in Yakima, clocking 41 miles per hour in Ellensburg. Even stronger winds, 50 to 60 mile per hour winds continue this morning, and Walla Walla already seeing 54 mile per hour winds since midnight. Pendleton 56, getting close to that 60 mile per hour range. And that's getting closer to tornado force winds. So it is again, it goes without saying, a windy morning. You hear the winds howling. Use caution when you're out on the roads. And by lunchtime, we'll see a high wind warning expire. 40s getting cooler by the afternoon hours. And as our next front moves in, we see increasing rain and snow chances overnight. Mostly cloudy, mostly dry by 8 o'clock today in the 40s. And again, getting very cold overnight compared to yesterday. We see that cool down starting around 4 o'clock today. Coming up, we'll talk about mountain snow in your travel forecast and also what to expect for the rest of the week. For now, though, preparing for a windy morning that continues until at least 10 o'clock today. Jill?
Police in Richland say they've seen an increase in public drug use and paraphernalia in the past 2 years. In 2021, the Washington State Supreme Court ruled the state's felony drug possession law was unconstitutional. Police say that's led to more people doing drugs. In response, Richland City Council passed 2 municipal codes aimed at cracking down on public drug use. The first criminalizes the public use of controlled substances. The second makes it illegal to dump drug paraphernalia onto the ground or into a body of water. Richland PD says, quote, these laws will be enforced vigorously, and they're committed to taking back the community from drug users and people committing crimes in Richland. But is arrest the solution to ending the drug crisis? Andrea Munder with Ideal Options says it can certainly be the beginning of someone's journey to sobriety.
If they come into the jail and they've recently used any sort of opiates, we have the ability to prescribe them some medications to kind of help them withdraw from those medications and then get them on something a little bit more long-term to help them with their sobriety.
Munder says they continue to work with patients even after they're released from jail to ensure they can get back on track to a healthy life. We'll hear more from her later on Good Morning Northwest. And when the Bi-County Crisis Recovery Center opens, that will be an option for those dealing with substance use disorder, as well as law enforcement who will be able to bring individuals to the center. Amazon has made headlines with its plans to open 2 huge warehouses in Pasco, but we don't yet have a date when they will be open. A spokesperson with Amazon has confirmed they've opened their first job position for a staffing administrator. Cap KVUE's Riley Fitzgerald spoke to the Tri-Cities Development Council about its role in these projects. She explains why the council is concerned about the upcoming projects.
When it comes to Pasco's Amazon warehouses, we're still looking for answers on when these buildings will be in use. According to a spokesperson with Amazon, they've opened up that first job position for a staffing administrator, but they don't have a date yet on when these warehouses might open. Carl Dye, president and CEO of Tridec, says his organization has reached out and contacted Amazon as the regional economic development agency, but Dye says they haven't received much response.
We'd like to understand what their plans are, see what we can do to help in even their hiring or any of their other processes. That's what we do for businesses that relocate to the Tri-Cities. But so far we haven't been able to talk to them. So when we saw in local media that they actually made their first job announcement, we were surprised because we've seen some of the corporate announcements, that they've changed their distribution model, that they're in some parts of the country they haven't opened warehouses.
Dye says he looks forward to working with Amazon in the future and hearing more on when these warehouses might open. And according to Mike Gonzalez with the City of Pasco, the West warehouse will open first and then the East. He says they're committed to opening, it's just a matter of when. In Pasco, Riley Fitzgerald, Cap KVUE Local News.
Just a little over a week after a fire destroyed a mobile home in West Richland, Benton County Fire District Number 4 responded to another mobile home fire just within a few miles. The damage to this one was also substantial, but no one was home and no one was injured. Captain Thomas Harper with the fire district says while responders are fighting fires in small neighborhoods like this one, to keep some distance from the crews working to put it out.
Well, if they see something, obviously call 911, but if we're working, stay away, stay out of the way, don't drive by just to get a look or a better look. We're there for a reason, we have a job to do, so it's best to stay out of our way and let us do our job.
Captain Harper says this fire might have been caused by a space heater, though it's too soon to confirm. He says the homeowners and the pets were all out of town and have been notified. The Franklin County Pest Control Board is offering an incentive to prevent bugs from making their way to commercial orchards. You can earn a $100 voucher by letting the Franklin County Horticulture Pest and Disease Board remove your fruit-bearing tree. Trees like apples, cherry, nectarine, peach, and many others are eligible for the program. The board has a list of criteria online, and the voucher can be used at a list of stores, including Ranch and Home, Fiesta Foods, and Job's Nursery. Last year, the annual worldwide prayer event for Our Lady of Fatima was broadcast live from Nicaragua. But this year, it was held in Yakima. Hundreds gathered in Yakima yesterday to honor the Virgin Mary by her title, Our Lady of Fatima, in a procession to St. Paul Cathedral. In the Catholic faith, the title comes from the Virgin Mary's appearance to 3 children near the village of Fatima, Portugal in 1917. Bishop Joseph Tyson says it was an honor for Yakima to have been chosen to host.
Our Lady of Fatima is mother for everyone. Our Lady's mother for everyone, and it's a great reminder that no matter where our actual mothers are, we have a spiritual mother as well.
We'll have more on Our Lady of Fatima events later on Good Morning Northwest. We'll return in just a moment, but first, Chief Meteorologist Brianna Berman-Solo joins us live now for another quick look at weather.
We'll look at the Legend Skycam Network camera showing you dry and windy conditions in Yakima right now. If you head up to the mountains, you're going to run into heavy snow over the next couple of days, including this morning. We'll have your travel forecast coming up.
A concerning threat at the same school where a teacher was shot by a student is raising questions surrounding children's mental health. That's next on Good Morning Northwest.
I remember when you get a whole meal for $5.
Yeah, it was last Tuesday.
Oh.
And every Tuesday at A&W, where single Papa Burger combos complete with fries and a root beer cost just $5. The good old days are here again. A complete meal for just $5. Tuesdays only at A&W.
It's Valentine's Day. What are you guys doing tonight?
There's a meth lab speeding through our city. Focus.
Might as well be a bomb driving around.
Get this thing off my streets ASAP.
Valentine's Day is the most dangerous day of the year.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
During the Les Schwab Founders Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Your roof protects your home and family every day. Shouldn't it be the best roof possible? With Air Roofing, a family-owned business in Prosser, you'll see why our customer reviews speak for themselves. No job too small, big enough to take care of your roofing needs. Arrow Roofing, a company built on quality and reputation.
Smoke City for Less is your one-stop shop in Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, Hermiston, and West Richland. Every location is conveniently located and gives you the lowest prices and largest selection of vape mods, the best batteries, tobacco products, Kratom, and specialty products too. We have something for everyone, including gift cards for any occasion. Check out the specials and deals today. Open 7 days a week in 5 locations: Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, Hermiston, and West Richland. Smoke City for less. We smoke the competition.
We so amazing.
The stylish Chevy Equinox RS. And Chevy Blazer RS.
So captivating.
You don't have to be an influencer to be an influencer. The RS family of Chevy SUVs, definitely worth a follow. Get 2.99% financing for 5 years on all 2023 Equinox models, or get $1,000 cash allowance on all 2023 Equinox models. Plus, current competitive owners get an additional $750 cash allowance.
Welcome to the Village Bistro. We're happy you're here. I wanted to share with you some of the things we have on our menu. One of my favorite things is our lemon ricotta pancakes, topped with blueberries and powdered sugar and butter, and oh my, they are so delicious. You gotta try our 4 cheese mac and cheese or burgers. Some say they're the best in town. We love to get to know each customer that comes in, and we want you to feel like family when you're with us.
KFC has wraps now?
Got 2 for $5.
Wait, there's one with spicy slaw?
Grab 2 new Kentucky Fried Chicken wraps for just $5.
A shooting range in the forest. Fly the Northwest tonight.
A so-called copycat threat in Virginia coming from a student who attends the same Newport News school where a 6-year-old student allegedly shot his student just weeks ago. The threat apparently made in a group chat of 5th graders and revealed to officials after one student shared the text with a parent. Kelsey Jones spoke with a child psychologist about the mental health impacts of these incidents.
Just 2 weeks after returning to school and some sense of normalcy, the Rich Neck community was rattled with news of another threat. In a letter to families on Monday, Karen Lynch, the school's extended learning supervisor, said a group of 5th graders was texting Saturday when one of them said they would, quote, pop some bullets and tell someone to shoot up the class. An unsettling revelation for students, teachers, and parents after the January 6th shooting of 1st grade teacher Abby Warner at the alleged hands of her own student.
What is wrong with this child? It just sparks up a lot more of anxiety all over again.
A student shared the text with a parent who immediately notified school officials. The Newport News School District and Police Department are both actively investigating. However, the incident is creating even more mental health concerns for a community already in distress.
Those are all going to stir up emotions in our children.
Dr. Anjali Ferguson is a child psychologist specializing in trauma-informed care. She says copycat threats are common after a highly publicized event.
The reason for that is a bit unclear. It's really individually driven, but when it comes to children, sometimes their lack of understanding of these incidents and why they took place can create some of these effects.
Whether children are using humor, seeking attention, or projecting their own fears, Ferguson says it's important for parents to talk openly with their children and monitor the information they're taking in, especially on social media.
It's better that we as adults kind of gatekeep and manage and monitor how they're receiving this information and processing those feelings than leaving them to their own devices to figure it out.
Ferguson says it's a long road to recovery, and while every threat should be taken seriously and investigated, she says holding space for healing is important.
An investigation is now underway to determine what action will be taken. More than 1 in 5 kids and adolescents around the world show signs of disordered eating. That's according to a new study published Monday in the journal JAMA Pediatrics. Experts say disordered eating is similar in behavior to an eating disorder. It can include strict food rules around how much a person eats, what they are eating, and how much they are exercising in relation to their food. Researchers analyzed 32 studies from 16 countries and found that 22% of children and adolescents show disordered eating behaviors. Those numbers were higher among girls, older adolescents, and those with a higher body mass index. Experts say you should seek professional help if you notice signs of disordered eating in your child. Coming up, the Supreme Court is preparing to hear arguments on 2 landmark cases that could change the way Americans use the internet. And Chief Meteorologist Brianna Bourbon-Solo returns with a look at your first alert forecast.
Does your property look like this? With 24/7 emergency service, First Choice Restoration will be on site for any disaster within the hour. They have the expert support you can trust. Never the call you want to make, always the first choice you should take. First Choice Restoration. We'll be there when you need us.
Imagine a knife taking this much abuse and didn't need sharpening. Introducing the incredible NutriBlade knives, coated with granite stone non-stick and made of stainless steel, one of the hardest substances on earth. Now everyone can chop, slice, and dice just like a pro. Order right now to get this professional 6-piece set of NutriBlades for just $29.95. We'll even ship them to you free. Get your own NutriBlade knives, the last knives you'll ever buy.
From Cap Cayview, this is Apple Valley Eats.
Welcome to Sage Brewing Company. We're the Tri-Cities premier location for great beer and a laid-back environment. I love making Simcoe-focused IPAs and hazy IPAs and all kinds of different hoppy beers. So our 2 main beers are our Big Boss IPA, which is a Northwest style IPA. It's got plenty of bitterness and hoppy aroma from Simcoe hops. Not too bitter, but just enough to balance that malt. And then we also have our Hold My Haze, which is our hazy IPA that's really nice and juicy, has some real tropical fruit flavors to it, and a nice hoppy punch in the aroma as well. We opened up our original location here at the brewery in 2019, late 2019, and then we have a second location at Hanson Park. That location we opened up last year in December. So the brewery location is a family-friendly location. We have a very small patio out front to allow dogs, but this is where we make all of our beers. All of our beers are made here, and then we take them down to the Hanson Park location. The Hanson Park location is a 21 and over. It's a little bit more adult focused, but we've got a lot of activities and events that we try to have down there.
It's a different kind of shooting range in the wilds of North Idaho.
We have a 3D archery range that is a trail through the woods. It's about a mile long.
Fly the Northwest.
We've got a 50-yard range, a 100-yard range, and a 200-yard range.
Cap gave you local news at 6 tonight.
Next, ET, we're in London with the Royals and the Stars, mixing it up at the BAFTA Awards. Plus, our exclusive with Tatiana Ali ahead of her Bel Air homecoming. Next, ET.
Tonight at 7 on Cap Cayview.
Water damage comes from anywhere. With 24/7 emergency service, First Choice Restoration will be on site for any disaster within the hour. With the best restoration experts for water damage, you can trust us as your premier restoration partner. Never the call you want to make, always the first choice you should take. First Choice Restoration.
This newscast sponsored by Kentucky Fried Chicken. Now, Cap Cayview First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Brianna Bourbon-Solo.
Well, we're starting off with a few photos, 2 photos this morning from our morning show producer, Cole Johnson. And the first, he says, was very early before he came in from the Safeway parking lot. You can see one of the signs just blew completely over. And from the same parking lot, the winds knocked over a shopping cart. So that gives you an idea just how strong the winds are this morning. You're hearing them howl right now outside your window, outside your homes. High winds, 45 to 60 miles per hour, already recorded very early this morning. Since midnight, we've seen gusts as strong as this in Pendleton, Walla Walla, Tri-Cities, Yakima, all valley locations underneath wind advisories and warnings until 10 a.m. today. So again, those winds are coming out of the southwest, and they've been a bit weaker through the valleys of Yakima Valley up to Moses Lake. That's where we're seeing an advisory, a warning out by the National Weather Service because winds are stronger. So we're warning you that the damage has been stronger. 300 to 500 power outages in place for Benton and Franklin counties right now. because of those wind speeds, again, gusting up to 60 miles per hour. They've already reached close to the 60 mile per hour range in Pendleton, Walla Walla, and Tri-Cities this morning. They will remain strong until at least 10 o'clock today. Right around lunchtime, we do see winds decreasing, but it's right around the evening hours through tomorrow where we see rain and even snow chances increasing. Winter is going to make a big comeback. We've seen more than a foot of snow in the Cascades, and I-90 open right now. Chains are required east of the Snoqualmie Pass, east of the passes. We are seeing up to 4.5 inches, close to half a foot in Cle Elum today. After snow fell last night, we're going to continue to see increasing rain and snow chances tonight through tomorrow morning. By 11 o'clock Wednesday, that's tomorrow, we'll see a light dusting of snow on the ground in the Tri-Cities, less than 1/10 of an inch. Enough to talk about, though. Winter is making a comeback before winter is even technically over yet. It's still February, and it has been feeling like spring lately, but we're going to see those temperatures drop tonight. Hanford is getting about 1/2 inch of snow, potentially 1 inch in Toppenish, 1.5 inches. Again, this all starts tonight in Walla Walla, 2 inches. Pendleton tomorrow, and as we see that snow spread from west to east to reach Tri-Cities, Pendleton, and Walla Walla, most of that falling as rain, but once those temperatures drop tonight, you'll wake up to some snow on the ground by tomorrow morning. So it's a wild ride of spring-like temperatures today. Winds this morning, high wind warning in place until 10 o'clock, 51 degrees by this afternoon in Yakima. Sunshine returns today before the clouds roll back in tonight. We'll see calming winds throughout the afternoon hours. Breezy with 50s in the Tri-Cities this afternoon. Walla Walla, 47 degrees. A weather alert day today for the winds that continue this morning. High of 51 degrees this afternoon. And as we look ahead to tomorrow, 30s for your high temperatures. 20s overnight. Again, this is going to be a huge shock as we go from 50s, spring-like temperatures, and the winds today. Much calmer winds tomorrow, but we only get up to 30 degrees by Thursday afternoon. Those overnight temperatures dropping down into the teens. Make sure you are protecting your sensitive plants and pets starting tomorrow night as we see winds dying down in Yakima today. Tomorrow, high temperatures only right around freezing. Snow tomorrow morning, dry, sunny, and cold the rest of the week. But we'll start preparing now for temperatures that are dropping well below freezing for Thursday, Friday mornings. Mild weather for the weekend ahead. Jill?
Social media is at the center of 2 cases going before the Supreme Court today. In one challenge, the justices could upend protections that have long shielded internet companies from liability. ABC's Derek Dennis has more.
This morning, the killing of American college student Naomi Gonzalez in the 2015 ISIS terror attacks in Paris is a case before the Supreme Court.
I never thought that something is going to happen to her.
You could never imagine it.
Never.
Her parents claim YouTube's algorithms highlighted ISIS-produced materials and further radicalized the extremists that killed their daughter.
Hopefully by this, it'll change the laws and it'll be for the good.
Oral arguments today will center on Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act of 1996, which says internet companies, including social media platforms, cannot be sued over third-party content uploaded by users. But some legal experts say social media platforms are responsible for their content.
They get to decide what to carry, they get to decide what not to carry, and they get to decide how to design their algorithms to amplify certain types of content.
Another case being heard by the High Court today is the case of Anthony Novak of Ohio, arrested in 2016 after making a phony police Facebook page with fake announcements. He says it was obviously a joke.
You click the page, it's very obvious, and even what you're reading should strike you as off.
Local police weren't laughing, charging him with disruption of law enforcement operations. A jury found him not guilty, but he wants the Supreme Court to grant him the right to sue police for violating his civil rights.
They raided my house, they took my electronics, they arrested me, my image was blasted all over the news, and I didn't do anything wrong. So I don't want them to think that's okay, because I kind of think they do.
Both these cases could have big implications, one potentially making social media platforms more liable for their content. The other could draw the line between parody and public safety. When we return on Good Morning Northwest, one 105-year-old woman refuses to slow down as she shares with us some of the secrets of her long life.
This is Ford Truck Month, America. Time to get into Ford F-150. All amped up and ready for work or play. Get 0 for 36 plus $3,000 low APR cash on a 2022 F-150 XLT at your local Ford dealer.
What are the biggest operational challenges on your farm? Data management and displays? Navigating the John Deere Operations Center? Equipment setup and in-field adjustments? If you have precision agriculture questions, we have the Precision Ag Answers. Join RDO Equipment Company's team of experts for Precision Ag Answers, a collection of videos covering John Deere precision ag technology. Everything from quick tips to basic how-tos and in-depth tutorials.
Us. This isn't us. Is it? When did we get so connected to our devices and so disconnected from each other? And when our phones have turned us into this? LT, what do you do when you're a company that sells them?
We gotta fix this.
It's time to find what we're missing. Join us in taking a break from our devices. Take the phones down for 5 challenge for 5 days, 5 hours, or even just 5 minutes. Feels good. And let's find us again. US Cellular, built for us.
The concert you've been waiting for. Jen Blossoms. Anywhere you go, I'll follow you. Jen Blossoms. Live in concert. Friday, March 17th at Legends Casino Hotel. Buy your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Jen Blossoms.
Now is the time for a new bath from Bathfitter. Every Bathfitter bath is installed quickly, safely, and beautifully with a lifetime warranty. Go from old to new, from worn to wow. The beautiful bath you've always wanted, done right, installed by one expert technician, all in one day. We've been creating moments like these for 35 years, and we're here to help you get started. Book your free virtual or in-home design consultation today.
If you're injured on the job, you need an experienced workers' compensation attorney.
Workers' compensation is complex. It has its own laws, doctors, courts, and judges.
For years as an assistant attorney general, I represented labor and industries. Now, I fight for injured workers.
If you can't work, let us go to work to get you benefits.
Call toll-free 1-888-665-8630, Bothwell and Hamill.
Ford Escape. It offers bliss with cross-traffic alert. And it's an IIHS top safety pick. It's built for America. Get 0 for 36 months plus $1,000 low APR cash on an in-stock 2022 Escape only at your local Ford dealer.
E.T. followed by Extra tonight at 7 on Cap KView.
Well, skiers, snowboarders, rejoice. We've got some spring skiing. Even though it's technically still winter right now, it looks like winter up in the mountains and more than a foot on the snow on the ground right now. Taking a look at Stevens Summit and at Stevens Pass. Avalanche control work will be done at 8 o'clock this morning, so the pass will be closed. Usually takes about 30 to 60 minutes to do that, but we'll keep you updated, letting you know about that closure now. Chains are required to get over Snoqualmie Pass because of the snow. Traction tires required, White Pass, and no restrictions at this time. Light snow, I-84 at Cabbage Hill.
Man, winter is not done with us yet.
Winter, the groundhog was right. 6 more weeks of winter packed into 1 week in the mountains right now.
Well, if every day is a gift, maybe this weather is a gift,
there you go.
Then this birthday girl has more than 38,000 of them because she's celebrating her 105th year.
That's right. Meet Irene Fee of O'Fallon, Missouri. She was born in 1918 and remembers going to church in a horse and buggy long before automobiles were commonplace. She doesn't dwell on the past. Irene prefers to look forward, and she's convinced that's how she's stayed young for so long.
She likes keeping up with the news and the stock market. She paints, does embroidery, and traces genealogy. Irene says it's important to keep the mind and body active. Her advice, don't just sit around and don't talk about age. She says it's irrelevant.
Hey.
I think you got to keep your mind and your body active in order to, you can't sit around.
You can't sit around, so we should take 105 off the table, and she's just forever young.
Yeah, and I mean, I love the way she lives. So she's got a lot of fun activities she's doing.
Yeah, I should start painting it. Maybe I'd get better at it. It wouldn't look like a toddler did it when I paint.
Just keeps you young.
Yes. Hey, there you go. Okay, keeping you young this morning and keeping you on your toes. The winds are howling. We have a high wind warning in effect until 10 o'clock this morning. And we've got snow on the way. Yes, valley snow is still possible this winter. We'll look ahead to the forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Also coming up, President Biden kicked off his European tour with a surprise stop in Kyiv, but a few politicians are now raising objections to Ukrainian aid. And nearly 1 million gallons of contaminated water have been removed from East Palestine, Ohio, as Norfolk Southern seeks to make amends to residents affected by a toxic train derailment.
In today's Tech Bites, TikTok's new creativity program, which is being launched here in the U.S. TikTok says the program is meant to help creators earn more and unlock more real-world opportunities. The program is invite only, at least for now, but it is expected to expand. Google Chrome is making its memory and battery saver modes available to all users. The features first appeared in December. Both are enabled by default. Energy Saver limits background activity and other functions. Well, a first-generation iPhone has been auctioned off for more than $63,000. You heard that right. The phone initially sold in 2007 was still sealed in its box. It has 3.5 inches of screen and 2-megapixel camera. The seller said she got the phone as a gift after she bought a new phone, so she never opened it. Well, those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Wow.
I'm sorry. What was that?
It's good.
Oh, the almond breeze I bought for you that you haven't had before now.
Yes.
That I got you last week that you said you wouldn't try, and now you're drinking and enjoying. That almond breeze?
What's happening, Dad?
Oh, I think we both know what's happening.
They get delicious taste and 50% more calcium. You get all the credit. Blue Diamond Almond Breeze. Don't just milk it, almond milk it.
I occasionally get bladder leaks.
I tried Always Discreet underwear. It absorbs an entire glass of water. It fit like a glove. It just felt like real underwear. Game changer.
It's the protection we deserve.
Think Mom's mad about her favorite shoes? Nope, because Bank of America lets her switch her Choice Cashback category to online shopping, so she earns more on a replacement pair.
With the Bank of America customized cash rewards card, you just can't stop getting rewarded.
It is a weather alert day. High winds. You've heard them, you've felt them, you've been impacted them throughout the night and now through the early morning hours. The high wind warning continues for all valley locations until 10 o'clock this morning. We'll talk about what to expect as the day moves on coming up in your Tuesday forecast.
Disaster strikes again as parts of Turkey and Syria are hit by another earthquake, leaving hundreds injured. President Biden lands in Poland after a surprise visit to Kyiv, announcing more aid to Ukraine's defense against Russia.
From Camp KVUE Local News, this is Good Morning Northwest.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Jill Sperling.
And I'm Brianna Berman-Solo. Those winds picked up last night, and anytime there's just a small amount of wind, let alone 50, 60 mile per hour winds, my house sounds like it's going to just topple right over.
Yeah, see, I don't hear it that much when I'm asleep, so I'm glad, but then I woke up and I was shocked by it.
That's good. So deep sleeper, if you are just waking up right now with us, there is a high wind warning in place. Our winds have been as strong as, again, 50 to 60 miles per hour. That's getting close to hurricane force winds, or comparing to a weak tornado, the winds that are packed with that as we start off the morning hour. So yes, it's windy, and this is unusually windy. We're looking at the Legend Skycam network camera. The camera itself has been shaking in the wind. You can see the trees blowing in the wind as well in Richland. Tri-Cities clocking 48 miles per hour so far. This is since midnight, and strong winds last night as well, picked up after sundown. Yakima, 43 mile per hour wind clock so far, getting closer to that 60 mile per hour range in Walla Walla. Pendleton, 54 mile per hour wind so far clocked. Wind gust in Walla Walla, 40 mile per hour wind, 41 miles per hour in Ellensburg. And the highest so far in the metro areas, Pendleton, 56 miles per hour. We'll see those winds increasing along our ridges. Higher winds reported there on some of our hilltops and exposed ridges across eastern Washington and Oregon. So windy conditions continue until at least lunchtime, if not the early part of the afternoon hours. Sunshine returns. We're in the 50s today. You'll notice by 4 o'clock things are getting cooler, and it will be much colder overnight. I'm talking snow, I'm talking rain, and the coldest temperatures we've felt for the month of February so far. All coming up in your extended forecast. First, though, on this windy Tuesday, Jill, weather alert day, I'll send it back over to you.
Parts of Turkey and Syria were hit by a new 6.4 magnitude earthquake yesterday, killing at least 3 people and injuring more than 200 others. Now, this comes after a massive earthquake 2 weeks ago that killed tens of thousands. Monday's earthquake was centered in a town in Turkey's Hatay province, one of the worst hit regions in the magnitude 7.8 quake that struck on February 6th. President Joe Biden is now in Poland following a surprise trip to Ukraine. It was Biden's first time in the country since the start of the Russian invasion nearly a year ago. But not everyone is on board with this covert mission, including some U.S. lawmakers. John Lawrence reports.
President Joe Biden met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Kyiv Monday, saying the U.S. will stand with the country as it battles against Russian forces.
Freedom is priceless. It's worth fighting for as long as it takes, and that's how long we're going to be with you, Mr. President.
Biden announced more aid to Ukraine, including $500 million worth of new assistance, including military equipment and ammunition.
I won't get ahead of future announcements. You'll see us announce some more here very, very shortly, and that'll continue well into the coming weeks and months.
Biden also said new sanctions would be imposed on Moscow later this week.
These conversations brings us closer to the victory, and we hope that this year, the 2023, will become a year of victory.
Moscow is reportedly upset with a comment Vice President Kamala Harris recently made, accusing Russia of committing crimes against humanity during its war in Ukraine. The Kremlin has not publicly commented on Biden's trip, but former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev accused the U.S. of warmongering support for Ukraine. Meanwhile, some House Republicans are also blasting Biden's surprise trip to Ukraine, including Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, who tweeted it's, quote, incredibly insulting that Americans pay for Ukraine's government and war. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
U.S. officials say they expect Russia is preparing for a spring offensive and hope the boost of weapons from the U.S. will help Ukraine prevail and be able to work toward ending the war. Michigan State University students are urging state lawmakers to pass gun reform as soon as possible. It follows last week's mass shooting at MSU when a gunman killed 3 students and critically injured 5 others. Instead of returning to class Monday, more than 1,000 MSU students gathered outside the state capitol building in Lansing to demand reform. State Senate Democrats have introduced several gun reform proposals. The first hearing on them is expected on Thursday. If passed by the Democratic-controlled legislature, the governor is expected to sign the proposal into law.
I'm tired of being at these things. I'm really tired of being here. I think all of us are. I was here only a couple months ago in Lansing, literally only a couple hundred feet from here, with students that ended up going through the shooting at MSU.
Now to the growing outrage over the toxic train derailment. Today, a health clinic is opening for residents reporting sore throats, headaches, and vomiting. And now the rail company is handing out checks amid closer scrutiny of its profits in recent years. ABC's Em Nguyen has more.
This morning, 15,000 pounds of contaminated soil and 1 million gallons of contaminated water have been excavated from the site of that toxic train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. Workers are transporting the material to landfills and disposal facilities. 11 rail train cars carrying toxic chemicals derailed February 3rd. The EPA and local officials insist their tests show the air and water are safe. But some people, including 11-year-old Zach, say they're suffering from a range of symptoms.
Ever since that incident happened, our face has been burning and it's really bad. Headaches, massive, almost passing out.
Beginning today, the Ohio Health Department is turning this church into a health clinic where people can be evaluated by nurses and toxicologists. The train company Norfolk Southern is now handing out money to those affected. People living in certain zip codes could get a $1,000 check for derailment-related expenses. It comes with Norfolk Southern's finances now in the spotlight. The company posting an operating income of $4.8 billion last year, and it reportedly paid shareholders $18 billion in stock buybacks and dividends in the last 5 years, all while reducing its workforce.
Em Nguyen, ABC News, Washington. Meanwhile, schools will be closed in East Palestine tomorrow due to tight security as former President Trump comes to town. Chief Meteorologist Brianna Berman-Solo is here with a look at your forecast.
Another look from our Legend Skycam network camera in Richland. The winds howling close to 50 miles per hour this morning, and you can see the camera shaking, the trees shaking as well. We'll talk about how long the winds stick around and when to expect, yes, snow in the forecast coming up in your Weather Alert Day Outlook next.
And home prices are falling significantly for the first time in some major cities, which could be a forecast of things to come.
I think they like each other.
I'm Charles. Lunch?
Vanessa, I like lunch.
Give in to deliciousness. Buy one craveable classic and get another one for $1. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Does your property look like this? With 24/7 emergency service, First Choice Restoration will be on site for any disaster within the hour. They have the expert support you can trust. Never the call you want to make, always the first choice you should take. First Choice Restoration. We'll be there when you need us.
I really started looking around thinking, there must be a ton of chefs doing things, and although we have a lot of great restaurants here in town, I thought that there was a space for maybe one more person with a chefing background, We're working with a buddy of mine, Adam, that has Columbia Basin beef, and we're using Holstein animals that are being raised right here in Sunnyside. And what we do is we take a certain amount of those animals and we feed them a little more generously to get what we call chef grazed beef. So it's a little higher quality. You see a lot more marbling, what you would see in like a prime quality or prime plus beef. And we have that all processed out at a USDA certified plant, so that I was able to work with all the butchers, get everything cut and processed exactly the way I want. So we're just now starting. This is the infancy. These are actually the first, coming from the first 5 animals that we've worked with. So we're pretty happy so far, and we'll continue to keep them well fed and keep fattening them to where we get exactly how we want it. We do what we call Cigars Under the Stars. So every month, every first Thursday, we have a collection of people that just keeps growing, and the whole outside is turned into basically a big outdoor cigar and whiskey lounge.
Smoke City for Less is your one-stop shop in Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, Hermiston, and West Richland. Every location is conveniently located and gives you the lowest prices and largest selection of vape mods, the best batteries, tobacco products, kratom, and specialty products too. We have something for everyone, including gift cards for any occasion. Check out the specials and deals today. Open 7 days a week in 5 locations: Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, Hermiston, and West Richland. Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
Water damage comes from anywhere. With 24/7 emergency service, First Choice Restoration will be on site for any disaster within the hour. With the best restoration experts for water damage, you can trust us as your premier restoration partner. Never the call you want to make, always the first choice you should take. First Choice Restoration.
Would you look at that?
It's beautiful. Wow. That's our boy.
So bright.
There's no better morning than a buy one, get one for $1 morning at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Portion of Cap KVU sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
A consumer alert this morning. New data shows home prices are starting to drop significantly in some cities. Some of the biggest price drops are happening in California, but hot markets like Boulder, Colorado, Boise, Idaho, and Austin, Texas are also seeing significant drops. One analyst says you can blame backlash from the pandemic, and people can't afford to pay as much because interest makes up a bigger piece of the monthly payment.
House prices rose very strongly during much of the pandemic, and we're just retracing some of those price gains. But nonetheless, for folks that have bought a home in the last 6-12 months, it's going to be somewhat painful because they're going to see the value of their home fall, here pretty significantly.
Prices may be falling because mortgage rates are still much higher than they've been in recent years. Coming up, Governor Inslee visited Pullman to get more information on a proposed biodiesel plant that has some residents concerned. And we'll return with a look at your First Alert weather forecast. That's next.
Portion of Cap KVU sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
This is Ford Truck Month, America. Time to get into Ford F-150. All amped up and ready for work or play. Get 0 for 36 plus $3,000 low APR cash on a 2022 F-150 XLT at your local Ford dealer.
Time for a new roof? Let Eminent Roofing replace it with the product so good, you'll never have to replace it again. Our roofs come with the limited lifetime warranty. Never replace your roof again. And with the rain, snow, and wind comes roof damage. Don't wait till it's an emergency. Get your free roof assessment today. So if it's time for a new roof or siding, let Eminent Roofing replace it with our certified installers.
Because when it's all said and done, this is the sign you'll want in your yard.
Pure Filtration Products is your Inland Northwest indoor air quality specialist. With a 12,000 square foot warehouse of filters, you are sure to find what you need for your commercial, industrial, or manufacturing needs.
I recommend working with PFP because they have the product that I need.
PFP's high quality products can assist in eliminating airborne contaminants. PFP can size UV light to your system to disinfect the air to keep it clean and safe.
I recommend PFP because of their service, the quality of their product, and I'll keep coming back.
Call or come in and talk to one of our certified air filtration specialists.
To start your 4-cheese mac and cheese, you want to put about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of butter in the pan. And then while that's heating up on a medium to medium high heat, we're going to add heavy cream. And you're just going to coat the bottom of the pan. It's about a cup to a cup and a half that we're using here. And we just want the cream to get heated through and the butter to melt before we add our cheese. We use mozzarella, it gives it that nice stringiness. Parmesan, which gives it a salty and nutty flavor. Cheddar, because cheddar, mac and cheese. And then I use a smoked Gouda, and that gives it its smoky, creamy flavor. You have about a 1/4 cup of each cheese in here. But you keep it moving because you don't want to burn your cream. Otherwise, you're going to have a sour milk tasting sauce, and that's not good. We're going to add our pasta. We're using macaroni noodles. This is 7 ounces by weight of cooked pasta. And you can see it's getting all incorporated. The cheeses are melting. Now we're going to turn the heat off. It's okay that everything's not completely melted and combined because this is going to go into the oven. Now we're going to put it into the pan. I'm using an oven-safe disposable pan, and it's perfect for takeout. Breadcrumbs. I'm just using a seasoned breadcrumbs. I like to top my mac and cheese with bacon. Now this is going to go into a 450-degree oven for about 6 minutes. And there's your 4-cheese mac and cheese.
Ford Escape. It offers bliss with cross-traffic alert. And it's an IIHS top safety pick. It's built for America. Get 0 for 36 months plus $1,000 low APR cash on an in-stock 2022 Escape only at your local Ford dealer.
Now, Cap KVU First Alert weather with Chief Meteorologist Brianna Berman-Solo.
Another look at our high wind warning. This is a weather alert day we're issuing for winds that have been ranging from 40 to 50 miles per hour. Gusts have been ranging close to 60 miles per hour, and the winds will continue to gust either at this level that you see right now from the Legend Skycam network camera in Richland, gusts anywhere between 45 and close to 50 miles per hour in Richland so far this morning, or they will be stronger than this by the mid-morning hours. We have seen wind gusts in Pendleton, Walla Walla, and surrounding ridge tops that have either gotten close to 60 miles per hour or exceeded this level. All valley locations under a weather alert this morning because of the strong winds that will continue to be between 50 to 60 miles per hour at least until 10 o'clock this morning. Strong winds continue this afternoon. Breezy, though, not as windy this afternoon. And as our winds decrease, our rain chances increase by tonight. About a 20% chance of rain. Rain more likely overnight, and then you'll see a light chance of snow early tomorrow morning. Our temperatures are going to take a big dip. We do dry out Thursday through the majority of Saturday. but we see colder air come rushing in and stick around through the end of the week. So as we stick around through the end of the day, you can see mostly dry conditions across the mid-Columbia. The mountains continuing to see just inches upon feet of snow, up to 2.5 feet between yesterday and tomorrow morning over Stevens Pass. Snoqualmie looking to get 2 feet of snow. The Blues will see about a foot of snow. This is through today and early tomorrow morning. By 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, we'll see a light dusting of snow as rain switches over to snow overnight in our valley locations. So winter's not over yet. Here's a sign of it. Hanford, Tri-Cities, Hermiston, over the state line, all seeing 1/10 of an inch or less, a light dusting, but enough to talk about in Dayton, Walla Walla, Pendleton, up to 2 inches of snow, and we'll see about an inch likely overnight through tomorrow morning in the Yakima Valley. Today, it's breezy for the afternoon hours, windy this morning. That's why our weather alert is out. High wind warning in place until 10 o'clock for Yakima, Toppenish. Highs in the 50s today. We'll reach the 50s by about lunchtime in Tri-Cities, Hermiston, Hanford, all again in the low 50s or upper 40s to low 50s across the map. It's a windy start to the day in Walla Walla, Pendleton, becoming breezy this afternoon, and then overnight it's becoming much colder. You'll feel the difference tomorrow morning, and you'll see the difference. Light snow falling throughout the early morning hours Wednesday, drying out Wednesday evening, and it's Thursday, Friday mornings, we're going to see the coldest temperatures of the month so far. Some of the coldest temperatures we've experienced in a while this month. So make sure you're prepared. Protect those sensitive plants and pets overnight Wednesday, Thursday through Friday morning in Yakima as well. A weather alert day today for the winds that are the strongest this morning, and tomorrow for snow that begins very early Wednesday, drying out Wednesday night, becoming very cold through the end of the week. Jill, I'll send it back over to you.
Washington Governor Jay Inslee visited Pullman to learn more about the development of a 550,000 square foot biodiesel plant. The governor met Friday with Whitman County commissioners and the business AgTech OS, which would operate the facility. Those meetings aimed at learning more about what the plant could offer. During the meeting, AgTech OS stated its goal to produce roughly 11 million gallons of biodiesel each year. It would allot more than 1 million gallons for farmers' equipment use. Also at the meeting, a Whitman County farmer who said he could not envision farmers having a problem with making this transition to a cleaner fuel source. Residents who live hundreds of feet away from the proposed site remain concerned with potential noise, pollution, and living next to a heavy industrial zone. The governor was asked about those concerns.
All of those needs to be answered. We've encouraged the company to talk to the neighborhood as much and as early as they can about those issues to see if they can be ameliorated. If you do have an organization that cares about these things and they're willing to listen to the neighborhood, things usually kind of work out.
The project still needs to be approved by the Pullman City Council. Should that happen, the earliest we could see this project be completed is December of 2024. When we come back, a third grader goes viral with a unique celebration for her 100th day of school.
Click-It RV Tri-City Superstore has gone mad with huge discounts on a huge selection of top brand RVs, which means the lowest prices, factory incentives, and rebates.
You guys gotta beat the spring rush and get in here now.
Shop online and find the floor plan you like, then build it, price it, and click it.
Or come to the Pasco Autoplex.
From travel trailers to fifth wheels, toy haulers to motorhomes, the huge indoor-outdoor RV show is here. Get a better RV and the lowest price guarantee.
Only at Click-It RV Tri-Cities or ClickItRV.com.
Be a winner like me and get the Click-It RV.
I remember when you get a whole meal for $5.
Yeah, it was last Tuesday.
Oh.
And every Tuesday at A&W, where single Papa Burger combos complete with fries and a root beer cost just $5. The good old days are here again. A complete meal for just $5. Tuesdays only at A&W.
Cut your ties to the fuel pump with an all-electric vehicle from Overturf Kia. You'll find a great selection of new vehicles in stock now. A 2023 all-electric Kia EV6 Wind with all-wheel drive starts at just $54,135. Plus, get interest rates as low as 4.49%. Take delivery today or reserve a car that is on its way. Shop online anytime at overturfkia.com. Overturf Kia at the base of the Blue Bridge in Kennewick.
Hey Dad, look, this is the magma chamber where all the magma's piled up until...
Us. What happened to us?
When did we get so connected to our devices?
She's not answering.
What? And so disconnected from each other. 79 cents. Something's gone missing. Our relationships, our conversations, our common sense.
LT, we gotta fix this.
But just because something is missing doesn't mean it can't be found again. It's time for a reset, not just with our phones, but with each other.
Sorry.
Join us in taking the phones down for 5 challenge.
So we're using our phones to put down our phones? Exactly.
So we just put them down?
I guess so.
Let's take a break from our devices for 5 days, 5 hours, or even just 5 minutes. Feels good. And let's see what we find.
Hey, bud. Wow, that's good.
U.S. Cellular,
Depends on how much pressure there is.
built for us.
KFC has wraps now?
Got 2 for $5.
Wait, there's one with spicy slaw?
Grab 2 new Kentucky Fried Chicken wraps for just $5. Click It RV Tri-City Superstore has gone mad with huge discounts on a huge selection of top brand RVs, which means the lowest prices, factory incentives, and rebates.
You guys gotta beat the spring rush and get in here now.
Shop online and find the floor plan you like, then build it, price it, and click it.
Or come to the Pasco Autoplex.
From travel trailers to fifth wheels, toy haulers to motorhomes, the huge indoor-outdoor RV show is here. Get a better RV and the lowest price guarantee.
Only at Click It RV Tri-Cities or clickitrv.com.
Be a winner like me and get to Click It RV.
I didn't sleep last night.
Live with Kelly and Ryan today at 9 on Cap KVO.
We are off to a very windy start this morning through all of our valley locations with the calmer winds to the west, stronger winds to the south and to the east. So starting in the Kittitas Valley, where winds have ranged from about 35 to 40 miles per hour out of the southwest, we're seeing highs in the 40s today. Winds will be calming, high wind warning in place for portions of the Yakima Valley until 10 o'clock today. Those highs will be getting up into the 50s with a breezy afternoon, rain and even snow moving in late tonight, otherwise dry and windy in the Tri-Cities. Highs in the 50s. The winds have been gusting anywhere from 45 to 60 miles per hour in Pendleton, Walla Walla, Hermiston, surrounding neighborhoods, and ridgetops. Highs will be in the 40s and 50s there today. We've got a big cool down on the way, feeling like winter by tomorrow. We'll have the details coming up in just a few minutes.
It's easy as ABC and 1, 2, 3, counting up to the 100th day of school. And this year, one third grader is taking the celebration to a whole new level. Here's ABC's Will Gantz.
Oh, yeah.
She might walk like a grandma.
Oh, Lord. I'm in the 3rd grade.
And she might talk like a grandma.
My name is Miss Marlene. Yeah. We're celebrating the 100th day of school.
Oh, yeah. Woo, glory.
But Braylee Perry is just 9 years old.
I have to say, Braylee, I don't recognize you without the gray hair. You look so different.
Perhaps a hat.
This one is my least favorite. It looks like snails on top of each other.
Braylee celebrating her 100th day of 3rd grade.
Oh, glory!
Her performance viewed by nearly 9 million people on TikTok.
People are saying she has really good talent. She is like the best thing I ever saw.
That might be me. It might have been me in the comments saying those things.
Undoubtedly, Braylee's performance of Grandma at church is miraculous. But where did the inspiration come from?
A lot of 3rd graders might dress up as Beyonce, or they might dress up as Taylor Swift or Rihanna, but you're dressing up as a grandma.
I get it from my church members at church. So I decided to I wonder if I could do that.
Turns out she can.
Let me see. Oh, Lord, have mercy. You scared me with that one.
Her 100th day of school tradition going back to pre-K. Braylee's mom says her personality has always been big and bright. And with mom behind the camera and dad playing the piano, a star is born.
Thank you, Lord. Oh, Lord. I'm in the 3rd grade.
Even if that star looks like she was born in the 1930s.
Jesus got from the grave. Woo!
Braylee says she has big plans for her 100th day of 4th grade. More rings, bigger hats, and in the meantime, she's working on the Braylee Show to give her fans more of her singing, dancing, and church lady impressions.
I'm gonna have to check out the Braylee Show.
I can't believe
she's hilarious.
How does she not have her own show already?